welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports, located on the White Horse Pike in Hamilton, New Jersey. Showcase Sports for the elite player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game-winning drive coming in, episode 56. We're here for some Week 6 talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about Jon Gruden, how rookie quarterbacks are doing, and yeah, Drew, how was your weekend? Talk to me about it.
Hey man, weekend was absolutely great. It was wonderful. Of course, bitch ass Alex in here tonight. And, you know, I was going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it. I know you want to talk about it. But how about them Chargers, huh?
Yes, sir.
How about them Chargers? Yeah, I know. Just wait a little bit and sulk, Brant. You already know what it is to feel
Hey,
like
how much did y'all pay those
the hell?
referees with those phantom-ass pass interference
yeah,
calls?
okay.
They gifted y'all 2 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
Like, Jesus.
Did Kevin Stefanski gift us 2 with the 3-and-out? Yeah,
I mean,
terrible play calling.
He gifted you phlegm,
Terrible
for sure.
play calling.
So
But
with that being said, Chargers were absolutely amazing on Sunday. To quiet Brant's my time, and and you know the thunder and the storms was going on in San Diego all weekend. It felt even better. I felt it just what a great Sunday it was for me, and I know it was for you, Ryan. You know, a lot of people peg us. We usually lose those games, and you know to feel like we came out on top. We got a coach that has the size of watermelons as balls who converted both 4th down conversions. I mean, this guy is just an animal, but more about the game later. Weekend was great. I'm good, brother. I'm feeling great.
Good. Brant, I know your boys had a little tough time this weekend, but how was your weekend otherwise?
It was good. Yeah, it was a little disappointing watching us. I mean, we were the better team on Sunday. I think we were better than the Saints were majority of that game. They just too many. You can't have turnovers inside the 20, and you can't, take opportunities to score and then not do it. But, I'm enjoying hockey is back on. Started last night. It's back on. So I get to watch my team take Brian Attart's team to the woodshed right now. And we're up 3-0 in the third.
That's why he's pissed.
Yeah.
That's why he's so mad.
Me as well. Obviously, Chargers had a big win against the Cleveland Browns. That was we've had a lot of tests pretty early in the season, and to sit here be 4-1 heading into Week 6 with another tough game coming up. I'm excited, man. Drew, you hit the nail on the head. Brandon Staley, man. I don't know. He's an analytics guy. He said that from the start. He's always been that way, but frankly, he just makes these ballsy calls. And when you listen to his game time speech at the very end, he just acts like, hey, we're supposed to be here. Don't act surprised, guys. And I love that attitude about him. The guy fires me up. I think he's going to be one of the better head coaches in this league, just on the way he handles his team. And, Brant got another score there.
Yeah, we did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yeah, give us a like. Take a look at our sponsors, see what we've got going on here. The more traffic we drive here, the more opportunity we get to talk to you guys. And with that being said, we're going to jump into first down and hot takes. Well, I feel bad for Lamar Jackson because, frankly, what happened about halfway through the game on Monday came out that Jon Gruden was resigning from the Las Vegas Raiders. Anybody who's been watching football for the past couple days or knows anything about it obviously knows what's been happening with Gruden and everything along those lines and the emails and what's going on. It's crazy that this Washington football team Snyder, investigation is coming out on this end. But Drew, start us off. What are you thinking? What's the future look like? What are your thoughts on Jon Gruden? I'm curious to see what you think.
As my for me personally, we've all been talked about it, and I said at the beginning of the season, beginning of our shows that Gruden was on the hot seat for me personally, just because of the performance of the show and how it was going and how they were doing and all that stuff. It hasn't worked out for years, and now we have this situation, guys. And it was 10 years ago. We've seen players do things stupid 10 years ago that have been crucified, that have been canned, that have been canceled. But to me, this isn't a cancel thing. This is something that is alarming. It is something that's really against my values as a person and as a Christian. Like, it's just things that he shouldn't say. Now, the whole Michelin tires comment was just completely out of bounds. It's wrong. It's wrong. The whole homophobic slurs was also completely out of bounds. Now, the question, boys, and the argument that's going around that I've seen in social media since Monday is it's behind closed doors. It's a private email. So where do we decipher between privacy and things that are public, like in a locker room stance where he tells like one of his players who is now an openly gay man, which is Colin Nassib. He's how does he take this? Where do you go from here? And a couple ex-Chargers, Brian, as we know, Perriman and Hayward, they came out saying, "Hey, look, we were just focusing on Chicago. We know who coach is. That was 10 years ago, but now we find out that it was 7 years of these emails. So that was 2018 when it stopped. Where do we draw the line, and where do we what's good and what's not good? Should Davis have not let John Gruden coach, or did he know this was it? This is your last game. You're done. I don't think we're going to see Gruden ever again in front of a TV. I don't think we'll see Gruden ever get on the sidelines, which he should have never been on the sidelines, like Brandt has said several times on this show. And if you really look at it, and I hate being this guy, but I'm going to be this guy and say it because this is game-winning drive, and I'll say it. I think Davis deep down inside is like, thank you, God, I can get out of this contract now. This contract is done. It's over with. He resigned. Thank God Gruden had the balls and the decency to apologize and resign. But overall, Ryan, and overall, Brandt, it's a bad situation. It is a bad situation. Now we have Washington football team who once again is under investigation. I mean, I hate to shoveling it up, B, but I mean he's got to go. Snyder has to go. They got to clean that whole organization up, find a new buyer, and figure it out, because Washington football team has been nothing but, I hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it. It's nothing but fuckery. It really is. It's nothing but fuckery over there at Washington football team.
Brandt, what are you thinking? This is obviously stemming from your team. Something that's a little unrelated, obviously. That's a big investigation going on in many different aspects. But what are your thoughts on John Gruden? What do you think this takes place, and where does it go?
I think this was an organized hit by the owners. You look at 70,000 emails. 70,000. You tell me this is the only email that there was a racist slur, that there was shit talking. There ain't no way. Not with the greatest snake of all time, Bruce Allen, being the one that was communicating with. Like, that dude is a snake. That dude has done nothing. He rode his dad's coattails his entire career in the front office.
Preach it, Brett.
But this was an organized hit. I guarantee you Mark Davis was looking for an out on this 10-year, $100 million contract. And damn it, not if the league didn't full. Why is the league not releasing every other email? Why did they leak this one email that will enable the Las Vegas Raiders in this current climate to cancel their coach? This was a hit. It was nothing but a hit, and the hit would not be denied.
No, I fully agree. I want to comment with Spencer real quick. We're going to be getting to that for sure. That's definitely going to be a part of today's show or tonight's show.
Love you, Spence.
So stay tuned. Hell of an outfielder, by the way, one of the best leadoff men in the softball game. Hey, I back up everything you guys have to say about Gruden. When it comes down to a hit, I don't look at this as a Davis was behind it. I think this is from the top. I think Goodell had this in his back pocket, and we obviously saw his comments about Goodell and where that went with everything. it's just unfortunate, man. There's a lot of NFL players, Gregory, like Randy Gregory, for instance, that have gotten second chances. Michael Vick, they did their time in basically NFL jail, or for some of them actual jail, and they came back and resurrected their careers, and good for them. But I don't see it for John Gruden because, in my opinion, there is no room in the NFL for hate. It's too diverse of a community. It's a billion dollar business, hundreds of billions of dollars. And there's no room for this kind of amateur act. And John Gruden, shame on you. Like you said, I was going to bring up Carl Nassib too. How's he feeling right now? Using words that he used and whatnot. Yeah, as he should. This guy's been coaching him up, probably saying all these things. The reality is, in the back of his head, Carl's like, oh, he's been full of shit this whole time.
But you don't know that it was so long ago.
Yeah.
You're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like don't go back to me when I was in my early 20s. I mean, I said shit to people that probably get me put in jail
all
now.
did.
And here's the thing.
We all did.
So I agree, Brant. I do agree. It was 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, he was still in the NFL. He wasn't 10 years ago an 18, 19-year-old kid posting on Twitter and stuff like that. When you get to the NFL, like I've said before, you have a responsibility to uphold yourself to a higher degree than anybody else you're looking at, because you're being put on a stage. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. You got to act a certain way.
He was on ESPN. He was on ESPN 10 years ago.
Absolutely. Saying these kind of things behind people's back. When it comes to privacy, go ahead, Drew.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Finish it.
When it comes to the privacy factor, these are emails that, frankly, he obviously didn't think they were going public. Nobody was thinking they were going public, but they did. So, ladies and gentlemen, young men out there, and women, if you become an athlete in the future, we live in a different world than we did in the 90s and all that stuff. Ooh. If you are saying things that you're going to regret later, you better be either ready to backtrack or just don't say it at all, because nothing is private these days, guys. If you put it out on social media, 20 years from now, somebody can pull that up and find it. You don't own it. Go ahead, Drew.
I agree with you, Ryan. And you just hit the great point. If I was an athlete today, like Justin Herbert, and I have to use Justin Herbert because he's a prime example of this. No socials. Absolutely no socials. Do not have any social media. If you especially think you're going to be a superstar, do not have any social media. I think it's the most dumbest thing in the world to have social media if you're a superstar, but that's just me. Second thing I want to say about what Brant said on the fact that it was 10 years ago. But Brant, we're looking at an email that the hatred spanned from 2011 to 2018. It's only 3 years ago, dude. So we don't know what those emails said, but I will say this, and I will say this the most. That is very important. I can't say his name right. The NFLPA head guy, DeMaurice Smith.
Is terrible.
He is terrible, but he made a great point. And he filed a junction, whatever he did, to challenge the NFL to release those emails over how many guys? 70,000 or 7,000, something like that. Emails. That should definitely happen. If you're gonna open up Pandora's box and put John Gruden out there in the fire, then we need to do that with everything. Because here's the problem: we probably will see a lot of former head coaches and current head coaches, personal directors, whatever the case may be. Whoever has an inkling toward the NFL, this would be what I would resonate to Black Friday. That type of thing where it's just going to be bad. It's going to be bad for business, but it also looks bad if the NFL is not going to release it. And by the way, John Gruden needs to get some tips from Hillary Clinton. The fact that she's able to delete her emails and they found something 10 years ago is amazing to me. But this is bad. It's bad. It's not a good look. Unfortunately, the NFL has been in such scrutiny in the outside for the past couple of years. Hopefully we can start moving forward, come together like our boy Brandon Staley just said in this press conference today. A true leader. We all sooner or later when you have a sit down conversation with people of different sex and different orientation, different race, we have a lot of things that are common. We need to start finding the commonality of people so we can start working together again instead of going 10 steps back. So
I fully agree. Yeah. Well, enough about that clown, because it's unfortunate for the NFL, because the NFL has a certain stigma to it in a lot of different areas and recreations, and to add this to it, it's just an unfortunate part.
I agree.
Moving on here, Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, quote, "We will win 2 Super Bowls in this decade." Brant, what are your thoughts on Mr. Irsay and his Super Bowl calls from this past weekend?
Man, they're on track to win 2 games this season. He's fucking high out of his mind. Man,
wouldn't it be the first time?
They're not winning anything. That dude, he needs to lay off the sauce. No, if this is buy or sell, I'm selling hard and I'm selling long.
Don't blame you.
We're 2 years into it and they're nowhere close. Their offensive line hasn't been good as it is in the past. Their defense has been pretty solid, but it's Carson Wentz. He's not leading your team to a win. He's not going to lead your team to 2 Super Bowls. Now, if you had, Nick Foles behind him, maybe there's a shot you're going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
It didn't happen with Carson Wentz.
Little deja vu. Yeah, hey, I fully agree with you. I appreciate what Irsay is saying. Now, I'll say this. I think they've built a good team. The offensive line's been great. They have some weapons. They're not super healthy, but the reality is, in the past 20 years, outside of Foles and maybe Joe Flacco, has there anybody that's won the Super Bowl that wasn't like a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league? I don't think so. Not that I can recall. And those teams were filled with great defenses. Now the reality is, you're not going to win with Wentz, in my opinion. You got to go out there and get a QB1, a guy that's actually going to start and be the future of the team. But I think that their window is shutting, and then the next decade, we're 1 year into it. It's not looking good, in my opinion. Drew, what are you thinking?
You got 9 years. You got 9 years to win, because they're not winning this year. Let's just call a spade here. You got 9 years to figure out how to win with what you have. I agree with Brant. This is a championship roster. It's just missing a few pieces, especially a quarterback. Carson Wentz played great, by the way. He played great Monday night. The kicker makes a field goal. We're talking about a whole different storyline here. But the fact
hey,
of the matter,
don't talk bad about the kicker. The kicker threw his hip out in the game.
No,
and still went out there and still kicking.
I agree with you. But still, if that's the case, put the punter in. We're here to win games, and they needed to win a game. They didn't win a game. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. They're too far sunk. And you got the Titans in the division, and you got 3 wild card spots. Those are going to be gone. The AFC West alone is going to bring out 2 teams. It's just one of those things, gentlemen. It's just one of those things. Jim Irsay is one of the worst owners in the NFL. I can't stand him. I think he's a huge hypocrite. We're talking about a guy who had a DUI that had cocaine on a splurge, like Michael Irvin in the 90s with the Cowboys. It was just, it's not a good PR. This team was better last year with Phillip Rivers as a team. Maybe the offense is playing better because Carson Wentz could throw it down more, but it's not looking good. Jonathan Taylor finally looked good on Monday night, but it hasn't looked good all season. I don't know what the problem is, but I'll tell you this much. They don't make the playoffs. Frank Reich he might be out of a job.
I agree. It's not looking good. Spencer brings up again, Herbert coming to the bank. Going to be a good one right there. Fully agree. Game-winning drive. We're here for the people. So let's start to talk about it a little bit. We're going to add something.
I'm out. Bye.
All right. Now I'm going to start this off. Now, if you go to my Twitter, I got my handle in the bottom left-hand side there. I said August 3rd of this past year that Justin Herbert has a higher ceiling than Joe Burrow, and I fully believed in it. One of our other guys, Alex Krogan, was saying before the draft, we were talking about it last week, he thought Herbert was going to be the quarterback in this draft. You guys, let's talk about it. This guy's playing out of his mind. I don't think anybody expected this kind of success. The arm strength, the game he says is still a little quick for him. Imagine when it slows down and he can actually read defenses better. But his athletic ability and his arm strength and frankly, he's just not an ego. He is a team guy. He's all for the boys. He's got a potential to win some MVP. Drew, we talked about it a little this weekend. What's your take here? What do you think in MVP talk?
My take is amazing right now, Doc. My take, we are in such a great situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, we truly are. We are.
It's our window.
It is our window, but our window could be a lot, can extend a lot more if we do this right. And and let's just talk about the fact that we transitioned from Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert because Tyrod Taylor only played one game. We transitioned from Phillip Rivers to Herbert. Okay, we have never been blessed with a quarterback that can extend the play like Justin Herbert has. Justin Herbert last week, and I wish we had the technology to break down the play, but we don't. We'll get there one day.
The play to Keenan?
The play to Keenan, but also the play where he rolled out at the red zone. I believe it was at the 10 or 15, rolled out to the C gap, pocket collapsed, ran in for a touchdown. I know it might be normal to the Lamar Jackson fans and Patrick Mahomes fans. It's not normal to us. It's not normal. We had Phillip Rivers, the man who ran a 5.5.
Y'all wasted his career too.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that Herbert can do this and extend and roll out and throw the ball, Ryan, like we talked about countless times about Herbie, he is just a guy who is on fire, and he fits this offense. I think he could fit almost any offense, but that was the issue with him. That was the problem with his ADP in fantasy football. That was the problem with people want to select him as MVP because it was his third different offense. And he excels. He's a smart kid. He knows the right decisions to make, and he's making everybody better around him on the Chargers. And he's also making his head coach look like a freaking genius. And it's the defense is the defense. We'll talk about the defense later. But MVP talk, I still have Tom Brady number one. Yeah, I have to give him credit where credit is due. I think it's 15 or 16 touchdowns total. He's leading in passing yards as a 44-year-old. His PR, his QBR is up compared to what it was this time last year with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and his completion percentage is up as well. So I mean, he's leading in almost all those categories. He's killing it. I got Herbert too. I jumped Herbert to the second spot. I got Dak third. It's just one of those things, man, where Herbert is. It's gonna be between Brady and Herbert, I think, Ryan, for the rest of the year. It's between these two, back and forth.
Now, it's funny you say that because FedEx every week obviously does the Air Player of the Week and whatnot, and Tom Brady and Herbert, and there was another guy, I don't remember who it was, were up there, and actually Herbert won it. The fans spoke, and Herbert won it. Now, Brant, obviously Drew and I, we're Charger fans. We're biased. We watch this guy every Sunday. You watched him week one. I know you watched him a little bit this past week because I see you commenting in our threads. What's your thoughts? You think that Herbert has no chance to win the MVP, or does he have it in him? Young guy, what do you think?
God, I think he is one of the top 2 or 3 young quarterbacks. I would say up there with Kyler, Burrow, and Herbert. They're up there in the mix. I don't think he's going to win the MVP this year because I think you're looking. It's too close between Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Tom Brady. Who's the other guy I had in there? Herbert. That's and,
and I think Rodgers and some
Kyler.
You just contradict yourself.
So Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Tom Brady. And it's not that I don't trust Herbert. It's just over a long, where we're at over the long season. Could he? Sure, it's possible. I just think of that group, I think everyone else is just going to end up separating themselves a little bit more. I guess I might be wrong, but no, for being what he is, I mean, y'all got a damn good quarterback. It's just too bad y'all going to waste his career like y'all did Phillips and never win any championships. It's sad. It's so sad. But no, I mean, it's, you know, he's a great quarterback. When one of the biggest conversations when we played y'all is, did Washington mess up in taking Chase Young and not taking Herbert? No one knew what Herbert was going to be. You had hoped. That, he was finally going to put together, because in college it never really materialized into what he's become now. And honestly, y'all have another great quarterback. I'd say so far this year, he's easily been top 5. I mean, I don't have any issues saying he's been a top 5 quarterback this year with the other guys I mentioned.
You don't sound confident about that.
But can he sustain it against guys that have been doing it the last 5 years, or Brady, who's been doing it the last 30 years? You just never know if they're going to be able to keep it up over the 17 games.
Now, here's the thing. I do agree with you in a lot of sense. Now we're talking on the year of 2021. This is his MVP year, but it's not like this has just shown up out of anywhere. The numbers he's put up are astronomical for a first-year quarterback in his first 18 games. Yeah, actually, I think he has the best numbers of anybody in this span. Like Patrick Mahomes obviously got basically a redshirt year where he started at the end of the year. But if you look at what he's done from basically week 2 until week 5 of this past year or of this year, nobody's touching those numbers whatsoever. So it's not like this is just a flash in the pan and showed up overnight. He was doing this in year 1. Year 2 is looking even better. Imagine 4 and 5. Chargers are very blessed as fans. We love to see it. To go from a franchise to a franchise quarterback, it just doesn't happen a whole lot. And
I've not ever had a chance to watch one on my team. So, I mean, y'all lucky.
Perfect. Now, moving on here, we'll do this one real quick. I think we all know how this is going to work out. What do we make of rookie quarterback Zach Wilson's continued struggles in the New York Jets offense? So I'll jump on real quick. He's been dealt some tough cards. The talent on the Jets is just not there. They have a garbage line. They have a rookie head coach, which is a defensive-minded coach. He's showed some flash. The guy he's got a gun, man. Like I remember watching his pro day at BYU, and it's like in pro days, everybody looks amazing. If you look bad in a pro day, then you're garbage. You're not going to make it in the NFL. So of course they look great. But I'll tell you what, the guy's got some juice. I've seen some strength in that arm that I didn't think would be there off his back foot. He's hitting Corey Davis for 75 yarders. But the reality is this is a tough one. I like Saleh a lot. I think that he's actually going to be a good head coach, but he's got to surround him. He's got to get a good offensive coordinator in there because as of right now, Wilson does not look too good. Drew, what are you thinking? What about Zach?
I know when we talked about this, if we can go back to May. Or when the hell was the damn draft? Was it end of April?
April.
We could talk about it. I said Zach Wilson was going to be probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the draft class, and I said my surprise bust of that class was going to be Trevor Lawrence, just because of the situation he went into. But Trevor Lawrence has been playing great. That was just a surprise for Zach Wilson. I'm not worried about it. I think New York Jet fans need to relax, and they learned the lesson last time with Sam Darnold. We just got to let things come to play when it comes to putting the right pieces around him. The offensive line is not good, boys. The offensive line is really bad. He's running for his life. Let's just call it. We got to be honest here. He has to get rid of the ball quick when he's in New York or he's running around. I thought his athleticism would have come out a little bit more. It's not coming out more. I don't think he's making the right decisions when he's in the pocket. He's a little happy feet like Tom Brady is when he gets pressure in his face and he gets hit a couple of times. I see that with him. And he's making bad decisions. He's making bad reads. But that's what we're supposed to see in a rookie. That's what the people have been blessed with the fact that Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow have been killing it as early pros, early players. We're not seeing that with Zach. Zach doesn't have a good team. God for sure doesn't have a good defense. He has no rushing attack. He has no balance. You got to give him time. You got to give the new head coach some time. The Jets fans should know that this wasn't going to be a playoff team this year. Get your number 1 draft pick. Go rebuild. Try to trade up for more picks because you need a lot of players. So that's how they need to do it. That's exactly that. I still stand on my ground, Ryan and Brant. I told you guys last year, I wouldn't pick Zach Wilson. I would pick up other players to make the team better and then get a rookie quarterback. Because when that team is ready, you can use a rookie quarterback scale and not have to pay him for freaking 5 or 6 years. Now you get a team around him and it's year 3. Let's just fast forward to 2023 and let's say the Jets are, remotely average to good. That could compete for a wild card spot. They're screwed if Zach plays good because they're going to have to pay him top dollar. And by that time, who knows what the quarterback scale is going to be, the right market price for him. People are complaining about Dak Prescott making $40 million, $45 million. Look what he's doing. He's shutting people's mouths up by playing great football. Now, what's that going to be like in 3 years with the new TV deal coming out here next year? That scale is going to go up, boys. So yeah. I think the Jets did a wrong thing. They should have went for a veteran quarterback, or they should have kept Sam Darnold.
Yes.
And they should have built the team up. Yeah. That's my 2000. But relax on Zach Wilson. He'd be all right.
Brant, what are you thinking?
See, I disagree with you. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to be fine.
Yeah,
I don't think he maybe, but I don't think he's a good quarterback. I didn't think he was a good quarterback in college. Like one good year against suboptimal competition doesn't make you a top 2 pick. I mean, it should have been Lance. It should have been Fields. Hell, even Mac Jones I had over Zach Wilson. He was my one that I figured was going to bust this year, and I'm not a fan. But I think right now, if he's going to improve, he needs to stop overthinking it. Get out of your head. Just play the game that you just go out there, sling the ball around, pay attention. I mean, my God, some of his interceptions, I'm like, bro, what are you looking at? Like, there's obviously a linebacker right in front. I mean, there's a linebacker right there. Don't throw it to him. I mean, try to do something else. But I mean, he's just overthinking. He's trying to do too much. He's trying to put the state of New York on his back, New Jersey on his back, and go out there and he's just trying too hard.
Pick a state.
I mean, they're called New York, but they're in New Jersey. I mean, it makes no sense to me.
But Brent, you can't. But I mean, have we not been blessed with rookie quarterbacks that have been good the last couple of years?
Yeah, but you look at those.
This is the norm.
They're on good teams. The best rookie quarterbacks are on
That's
good
my point.
teams. They're not,
That's my point.
Washington didn't get a rookie quarterback and turn him great. Washington's doing the way you said, build through the line, build up the offense, build up the defense, bring in weapons, and we're competitive with Taylor Heineke. I mean, are we a great team? No. Is our defense now garbage? Yep. Yeah. But last year it was good. I don't know what the difference is. It's just been weird. But yeah, I mean, the team around him's not good. And anytime there's a bad team around a rookie quarterback, they're going to struggle because they're going to try to do too much.
Can I tell you what the difference is this year for Washington football team?
What's that?
Alex Smith. Let's move on.
Oh, drop the mic, he says. All right, we're going to keep moving on here. Second down, buy or sell, ladies and gentlemen. We're buying or we're selling. First topic here, buy or sell. Lamar Jackson is a candidate to win the MVP for the 2021 season. Now, we're going to update this a bit because we've obviously talked about him being a candidate. What's the likelihood of him actually getting this? Let's put it on a scale of 1 to 10. What's Lamar going to get? What's the possibility of him winning MVP? Brant, start us off. What are you thinking?
I'm putting it about 20%, just because the first game against the Raiders, he was like 235 and a touchdown. Against the Chiefs, it was 239, a touchdown, 2 picks. Against the Lions, it was 287, a touchdown and an interception. Against the Broncos, it was 316 passing and a touchdown. But the Colts is the game. I mean, he blew up 442, 4 touchdowns. So that brought him back. He wasn't in the conversation before. Like 1 to 5, he's my number 5 because you need more performances like this. You can't play a game against Oakland and throw 235 yards, a touchdown, and lose. Like that's not an MVP worthy case. So he needs a lot more performances like he did against the Colts. But I'd put it right around 20% right now.
Okay,
he's got a couple of stinkers. That the Detroit game was just horrendous, but I mean we can't blame it on him. I mean Hollywood Brown missed 2 wide open touchdowns.
So bad.
If you guys don't remember,
so bad. Bad drops.
Yeah, Brant, we're not stuck in the 90s and early 2000s anymore, bro. You got to bring up rushing because this guy is an absolute animal. He is the number 1 rusher on this team. That accounts towards his MVP votes. I mean, the guy is just. He is an RPO. He is the actual running back on this team. It's crazy because he's the ultimate dual threat quarterback in the NFL. I'm buying that he always will be a candidate. I'm not buying on the fact that he's a good passer because the games that he's gone off on are against defenses that are mid-range to lower 20s, right? So I mean, we're talking about a guy who has evidently struggled in passing, but until this year, we have to see a consistent basis out of him. We got to see him if he could do what he's been doing these last couple of weeks and continue on this trend. I'm with Brant. I have him 5th in my MVP voting as of right now, heading into week 6.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm going to say about Lamar Jackson. If you don't think he's an MVP candidate, then you're crazy to me. For me, the way the season's playing out, the only people that are going to beat him out are somebody that has an amazing season, like a Tom Brady, a Herbert, or if Aaron Rodgers goes on fire. Because the reality is, when he won the MVP, he threw for like 3,100 yards. He's already at 1,500 yards. So
he'll beat it.
Oh, that's what I mean. He's going to
he'll
break.
beat it.
He's going to break every number. Now, granted, there's an extra game this year, but with that be regardless, his average per game, passing's up, his rushing's right on cue with what he did his MVP year. The guy's playing out of his mind. There's a difference between
what's his
quarterback
completion percentage, Ryan.
I think it's
is
almost
it the
80.
same as the MVP year?
67.07. It's about a percentage point higher.
Oh shit, that's good. That's really good. I didn't know it was 67.
But his
67.07. His in 2019 it was 66.08.
Okay, so yeah, it is up from there. But what I'm trying to say is basically there's a lot, and actually Brian Attard, obviously anybody who's watching this knows exactly who he is, talks about how he's not a quarterback. I want my quarterback to be a runner. He is a football player. Like there's not many guys that can do what Lamar Jackson has done, and frankly has ever done what he's done. He's far surpassed what Cam Newton could have done, what Mike Vick did. Like this guy is just an athlete. He's a great quarterback. He proved it this past week. Does he prey on bad competition sometimes? Sure, just like anybody else did. Tom Brady did it. Aaron Rodgers does it. They all did it. They throw for the big yardage on games like what Lamar just had this past weekend. But the reality is he is putting together stupid numbers. He's there in the MVP candidacy. And if he were to win it this year, I would not be surprised at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's an 8 for me. I genuinely think I could see him coming back or coming through and taking this whole thing.
Ryan, I 1,000% agree with you, man. Great points coming up with Michael Vick, and we'll even throw Donovan Nab in there, and all those guys who can run out of the pocket and this and that. It's hard to compare these guys to those guys because of the rules and the era of the game that they were playing. It was almost looked down upon when they ran until Michael Vick started doing it. So I mean, it's really hard to compare him to those players. If we had Michael Vick today, boys, it would be unfair. It would just be unfair with the RPOs, the Wildcat, and all the other stuff you want to throw in there. He's better than Cam Newton, and I'll take that to the bank. I think he's better than Cam Newton, and I also will say there's something more I want to see from him just out of the MVP stratosphere because he got that in his second year, I believe, as a starter. I need to see a more consistent basis from him in the passing game, and I need to see more of a consistent basis from him showing up in playoff games. He's got one. He's got one win. He's got one win. I want to see him do it consistently better because he lost last year in the wild card, I believe, against who? Who did he lose last year? I forgot. Was the Titans?
I don't remember.
The Titans beat him last year.
I think it was the Titans actually.
The Titans beat him last year.
I'd have to look
Brant,
that up.
tell me. I know you're looking up. So
what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Never mind.
I wasn't paying attention. What were y'all saying?
Worries. You're supposed to
You talking about last year?
Bro.
Hold on, I got it right here.
You're supposed to pay attention during the show, bro. What's going on here?
What happened? No, I'm just celebrating a 5-1 whooping that Brian
The Bills
team.
Okay,
the Bills.
I thought the Bills beat the Colts.
They did beat the Colts. Did the Ravens have no? They beat Tennessee.
They beat Tennessee and lost to the Bills.
20-13 and lost to the
That's
Bills.
right.
So
That's
second
right.
round.
That's right. Okay. I just want to make that point.
Totally. Yeah, no, I fully agree. We're getting some comments here. They needed to have this game to come back from a deficit. He had helped the lead. But absolutely. I mean, he showed up when they needed him to, just like, and that's kind of what I mean about not preying on bad competition. When they've needed him to show up in games, frankly, he has. Like, he's a damn NFL football player, man. He's not just a quarterback. And I think his versatility shows a lot. Let's see here. We got Drawn. We're going to move on from this. We don't even need to hear about this. We don't need to hear more about John Gruden, that guy. All right, buy or sell. Trey Lance's performance in week 4 against the Cardinals. I'm going to jump on with this one. I think sell. I think that Trey Lance, the game is way too fast for him right now. He did not look good out there. Their call sheet looked like it was about this big, and that's Kyle Shanahan. He is a scheme guy. I think Trey Lance is very talented. Him and Justin Fields, their speed and how fast the game gets when they're in, you can see it. They are athletes. But I'm worried about, is Shanahan a quarterback developer? I don't know. I haven't seen it. If this guy was under Andy Reid, I think Trey Lance would be would have a successful future. I'm worried about what Shanahan can mold him into, because Shanahan, he's a hell of an offensive coordinator, but I look at it, he's a scheme guy. He runs a great scheme. He calls a good offense. Is he going to be able to turn Lance into this guy who can make the reads and make the plays? Because he's an athlete. There's no question about it. He has the arm. He has the attributes, the ability, everything. Now you have to mold him. I'm very curious what that's going to look like with Shanahan. As for week 4, their play sheet to me was trash. The plays they were calling were so predictable. They lost to the Cardinals, and luckily their defense kept them in it. Drew, what are you thinking?
So, man, let's be real about it, guys. Let's talk about it here. Did Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan did Kyle Shanahan want to Trey Lance in San Francisco?
Mac Jones was the rumor. Who knows?
So I think that's what the beef was. Trey Lance and Mac Jones. Alex called it. Alex talked about it. We talked about it. There was internal beef going on because of who to select. Mac Jones was Kyle Shanahan's guy, and now I think Kyle Shanahan is putting Trey out there in the fire and saying, "All right, mother effer. All right, Lynch. Let's see how this guy works out now in the NFL. Here's my play sheet. It's limited. Now we could say that's on Kyle Shanahan, or we could say, hey, look, dude, I told you this kid is not the type of player that we need here in a team that is ready and built to win now. And let me tell you something, man. If this doesn't pan out, I'm going to throw it right here on Game Winning Drive episode number 56. Kyle Shanahan will be fired if he does not get to the playoffs this year.
Wow.
I'll say that right now.
Hot seat, huh?
Too much internal beef. Apparently, from what I'm hearing from one of my boys who works in the development over there in San Francisco in the Bay, he's saying that it's gone to a point where Kyle and Lynch are not even talking. So, I mean, with that being said, guys, I think Shanahan's 1 foot out the door, ready to get out. He's built a good team out there, him and Lynch. That defense is strong, but they're not performing. Their secondary is not performing. They have injuries. It sucks. But Kyle Shanahan's only been in the playoffs 1 year out of the 4 years he's been in San Francisco, which is his 4th year this year if nothing doesn't change. Trey Lance is hurt. He has the attributes, but you could tell that chemistry, that bond between coach and quarterback, it doesn't look good at all. Does not look good at all. So I am selling on the performance of Trey Lance.
Mr. Brandt, what are you thinking?
I'm selling on Trey Lance's performance, and I'm buying Kyle Shanahan's an asshole, right? I mean,
how all the Shanahans are. Name a Shanahan that is
how they have run. And I'm gonna get away from Trey Lance, and I'm gonna hit on.
You still got an RG3 jersey?
I do. Yeah, it's my best fitting one. Of course, I still got it. But you think in 2012, Kyle Shanahan made an offense that made RG3 Rookie of the Year. Yep. Why is he intentionally sabotaging Trey Lance and not doing what he did with RG3 to exploit his talents?
Get it, Brett.
I think he's an asshole, right? I mean, that's just plain and simple. He really is. The dude's just a dick. He's having some issues with John Lynch. He's trying to prove a point. He's just not a good guy, honestly. Like, you talk about a guy who's been in the league, who has literally had this system in his pocket for the last 9 years, and this is what he's given us week in and week out. He could be doing a lot better. And I mean, look at the way he's handled the Brandon Ayuk situation. The dude is a dick. He is. If you get on his bad side, or if he doesn't want you to succeed, you will not succeed. And I think that's what he's trying to do right now. I don't think he wants Lance to perform well, because then it's not his guy that he wanted. And so by making him look bad, it makes Kyle Shanahan makes him look like he was right.
Trey Lance isn't RG3 though. Sure. No,
which is fine, but there's similar capabilities. You have the ability to run. Trey Lance probably has better arm talent than RG3 has.
Oh, I guarantee that.
But is he more raw? Maybe. RG3 was 1 year starter at Baylor, and Trey Lance was a 1 year starter at North Dakota State. Either way, they're playing teams with no defense. I mean, the Big 12 ain't got a defense worth of shit, and neither does. I mean, you probably face better defenses playing in North Dakota State, but it's like I said, I think it's a lot of the relationship with Kyle Shanahan is he's not wanting this to succeed like he should.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback with what you guys are saying. Now, as a person who I am, I love a good conspiracy theory. I am all about them. I love to read about it, see about it, and then make my own decision on it. I think that the Shanahans as a whole, they are a very secretive group. It's kind of Belichickian, kind of how they operate. And even coming out of camp, whether people like – nobody knows anything. Nobody knows the actual truth, and I think they like it that way. They don't like to address the media on things, on what's actually going on. They'd rather keep you guessing. So in my opinion, I don't think that it was that they're basically setting him up to fail. I don't see him sending him out there saying, hey, this is all I'm going to give you and deal with it kind of thing. I think that he's still trying to win games. Whether he wanted Trey Lance or not, we still 100% do not know. We don't know. There was rumors about it, but we don't know 100%. So I don't know. That's a tough one for me. Let's move on from that real quick. Let's do a quick buy sell on Saquon Barkley. What do we think? So he gets paid. He's still under contract next year. 2024 is when it'll be a contract year, or next year's a contract year. So he'll be signed for 2024, unless it's a lame duck. You think that'll be talking this season? Buy or sell, Drew? Is he getting a big contract?
Sell.
Quick sell. I like it.
You're wrong.
I think does he have one more year under his rookie deal?
One more year under this rookie deal where he makes $7 million, I think, and then 2024 he's actually a free agent.
Okay, so define big deal. Are we talking about a Zeke type of deal?
I mean, in that ballpark. So what Zeke's making, he got the.
Then definitely sell. If anything, let's just say he's gone for another. The reports are 2 to 4 weeks for what he has right now. The sprain, which was absolutely god awful when you watch it in slow motion. Oh my god! Not even his fault. It was terrible.
Such an awkward play. Go ahead.
Very, very. I think he'll get a deal, guys, similar to Austin Eckler. That's the deal that he should go for, because the Giants would be absolutely idiotic if they sign him to a deal on the market value of a CMC or a Zeke. Okay? The guy has had, one, maybe 2 solid years? I think one. And it's just, they got to cut bait. They got to get rid of what they had. It was a bad draft choice. It was a bad decision. Eli Manning is still questioning it as he's on Monday Night Football with his brother. And, it's not working out. I like Barkley. I like him a lot. I actually watched his college games. But it's a running back, dude. You already know how I feel about running backs. So every running back should be signing a deal equivalent of what Austin Eckler signed last year. That's the deal where I feel comfortable signing a running back.
So
you can't.
He was a 4-year, $25 million, if I remember correctly. So he was like a $6-7 million a year kind of guy.
Yeah, and then his guaranteed was like 22 or something like that.
Yeah, 21. His guarantee was pretty high. That's
fine. That's okay though. I'm okay with that. So I got to sell, and I can't sign. Ryan, we've had this conversations before. You don't want a running back taking most of your cap. It's just guys. It's a useless position. And I don't care what anybody says. You can come at me all you want. It's a useless position. Only a handful of select guys who you can line up on the XYZ positions and a running back who's a dual threat, like a CMC, like Austin Eckler, those type of guys. And I still wouldn't give CMC and Zeke that money. I still would never do it. I still would never hand out that money to a Gibson, whatever that. We see what J.D. McKissick could do. If you need to put J.D. McKissick in, he ruins fantasy managers' lives. So it's just that type of thing, dude. It's just I cannot give a running back that much money. I can't.
Yeah. Now, so here's the thing. I'm selling as well, but here now we got to speak retrospect because the salary caps. We know that it's going up again next year, and then the year after that, the year that he's actually a free agent, it could literally close to double with the contract deals that are coming out of the TV deals. So he could be making $40 million. He could be making like probably $25 million, and that could be on the low end of the spectrum of how much is available money-wise. So it's kind of hard to really predict. He should not be getting that money. I mean, I'll say this: Dallas is somewhat of an anomaly. They have the highest paid quarterback and the highest paid running back outside of CMC, and I think Kamara. And they're 4-1. But it's still early. I don't see there's not a lot of comeback when you pay those guys that kind of money. Your line, your defense, everybody else struggles, and you don't win a lot of ball games. Brant, what do you think?
I'm buying. I don't think you spend the draft capital that you do on this guy without being willing to extend him another 5-6 years. Otherwise, it's just a waste.
Spencer, I'm going to talk to you real quick. Sorry,
Would I? No, but I think they're going to. One, because when he is healthy, and it's not like I wouldn't say he's injury prone. He's just real unlucky. Stepping on someone's ankle like that doesn't make you injury prone. It just makes you really unfortunate.
Agree.
But he has the skills. You saw in his rookie year, he had over 2,000 total yards. The dude can ball. But like I said, based on where they drafted him, you have to extend him just because otherwise you wasted a top 2 pick. And it's not like he doesn't have the skills, but like I said, would I do it? No, but I'm buying that they're going to do it.
Brant, that was pre-torn ACL. That was pre him still dealing with tightness with his calves and his hammies and all that stuff because he wanted to bulk up in the offseason to protect that ACL and put the muscle around it. You could see that he's lacked a burst of speed so far in these games before we got hurt. As a fantasy owner, I'm watching this game.
You also look at it takes typically a year before you go back to pre-shape. Everybody's not Adrian Peterson. Peterson came out the next year like a machine. That's not normal. It takes at least a year. And so I'm looking at how's he going to be in the last 7-8 games of the season, and I think you're going to see a big difference.
But here's the problem. And I will fix it right away. Adrian Peterson came back to a good offensive line. New York Giants offensive line is trash.
Yeah.
Trash. When you're leading rushers, the quarterback, you have issues. Unless you're the Baltimore Ravens. Spencer, useless. When I say useless, here's my example of useless. I just told you J.D. McKissic can come in the Washington football team and do the same thing Antonio Gibson is doing. It's easy as that.
Which isn't correct, but I get your point.
It is correct. Damian Williams can do the same thing what we saw with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Can't run the ball, though.
Kansas City Chiefs, he did the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs run. We saw what Damian Williams was able to do in the Kansas City's offense after an old boy went down. It's useless when it comes to the fact that you're paying top dollar where your cap is going to waste, and it's not looking good. Yeah, Tony Pollard, you're right. You're making my point. Madison, you're right. You're making my point. You don't need to pay these guys top dollar, dude. You don't need to. Look at the Giants' offensive line. It's trash. It's a prime example. Who are you going to pay? Better offensive line members or running back, guys? Offensive line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's few guys that can do what like the Saquons, the Zekes, and the Kamaras. Like that, if you are a running back that is a 1 through 3, can't catch the ball, just north and south runner, you don't deserve as much money as a true 3-down back, like I just said, like Zeke, like Saquon, like those guys. And CMC, they have the talent to earn more. But if you are taking close to 5 to 8% of the actual salary, you're missing out on a lot of talent in other positions that could be making that position better. So it's all about as a GM. We're all playing GM here. It's not an easy thing to do, but I love what's going on.
No, he's right. He's right. David Jones is right. David Jones.
So good.
He's the only one I'm paying.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point because again, and he's the one, and actually, it kind of goes against what I was just arguing. There's not many Derrick Henrys out there with that. He's the biggest guy in the field every time. He can run over everybody. So
agree, Ryan.
His pass blocking could be a little better, but that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna move on now. Well, we're missing our boy Krogan to get some picks in, so he's probably gonna watch this pod before he makes his picks just to get away from Drew. All right, let's give you our results. Here we're looking at here. He didn't
send his picks to you?
No, I haven't got him yet. He didn't even read the message yet. So, all right. So, So through week 5,
I had a shitty week last week too. Y'all lucky.
Sitting at 55-25 with a 68%. Alex 52-28, bringing up the rear with a 65%. Brant is still our leader, so he had a pretty big lead for him to still be sitting at 70% because
I think I lost 2 games. Yeah,
I think you lost the most games this past. Actually, Alex did, but you were close to losing the most games this past week. And then I'm sitting right in the middle
Freaking
with the 53 and
Cleveland, man.
27.
Cleveland should have won that game. I think we can all agree. If they don't butcher that last 3 down, whatever that a draw, 30-yard pass down the field, another draw. That's just such a terrible play.
Stop, dude. Stop.
Hey,
If we make 2 tackles, then then it wouldn't be close.
If the referees didn't help y'all would have lost too.
You know what? Hey, this is the same. We are the same
bro.
team that apparently threw a fumble out the back of the end zone from the 18-yard line week 1 against you guys. So come on, it's not like we get all the calls.
Exactly.
That's that patented arm strength you keep talking about.
All right, so we're gonna step into the Thursday night game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are heading to Philly. A lot of Philly fans on the that are part of the sportscast here. 7-point lead. This is an easy one for me. I'm taking the Bucs. Brant,
Bucks.
and Drew. Oh boy!
Please.
You know
Come
what?
on, man.
I will say this
Tom
for your
Brady with a bad thumb. I'm still going with Tom Brady.
your ATS guys that are out there. I don't mind attacking the spread on this one. I'm actually going to hit 2 units on this one.
Oh,
I think
agree.
that they make it somewhat of a close game. 7 points is a lot of points. I'm locking in that bet tonight. Actually, heading to London again.
Jesus.
Dolphins, Jags, early morning game. Oh, wait, is this the London game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
The Jags are out. Wow. Okay. So Dolphins, Jags. Dolphins are a 3.5-point favorites. Drew, who are you taking?
Tough
one. This is a tough game.
So Tua is supposed to play. I heard he
Maybe.
practiced today. He threw. He's been throwing. Oh my God, this is tough.
It's a tough one.
Oh, I really want to know who quarterback's going to be playing. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Dolphins. I gotta go Dolphins. I can't pick Urban Meyer. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Brant.
Picked
This
him, you
is
son
rough.
of a bitch. Picked him.
I don't see how I can't. I said, yeah, I'm going Trevor Lawrence this week. I'm gonna go Jags.
Ooh, okay.
I gotta be up at 6:30
I'll say this:
now.
if Tua plays, I actually feel better about the Jags winning. But
That's how I feel.
Brissett's
That's how I feel.
Brissett's good, man. I'm going Dolphins, though. I think that the Jags defense is still just straight trash. The Dolphins. This is a tough game for a rookie to be traveling across the pond, playing at a different time than they're used to. Everything's kind of messed up. Only veterans come out on top, in my opinion. All right, moving on here.
It's a tough game.
Los Angeles Chargers heading
he
to
just
the Baltimore
he just sent his
Ravens.
picks. He just sent his picks.
Oh, okay. Here, give me 1
I don't
second.
want to see him.
update.
I don't want to see him. I'm not even
Okay.
open my phone.
I'm gonna do the ones that we already did. So he did.
Okay.
He chose the Bucks over the Eagles.
Okay.
He
Dolphins.
chose the Dolphins over the Jags. All
All
right.
right.
In my opinion, this is game of the week. I know I'm biased, obviously, because I'm a Charger fan. 2 4-1 teams. Chargers heading into Baltimore against Harbaugh versus Staley. Consider reading. Wow. Okay.
All right, Daniel.
What did Bakley say?
Did you see that? That was
What did Daniel say?
No, it was a chick.
some. Consider me reading because you're a great aura sign message me. Oh wow. Okay. All right. We're getting
Block.
some.
You got to block her.
We're
You have to block her.
we're not just a sports cast. We're here to bring everybody closer. Frankly,
Yes.
this is a no-brainer for me. Obviously, I'm going the Chargers. This is going to be a good game, man. Defense. This is one of the better running teams. We have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. Great passing defense. If we can lock down Lamar, this is going to be an easy win because their defense is not stopping Herbert with Eckler or Keenan, anybody else. So I got Chargers here. It's going to be a close one, but I'm picking Chargers. Brant?
Oh man, what time is this game?
10 a.m.
1 o'clock. Our time, bro.
I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I'll tell you his pick after you go, Drew.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, bud.
I'm actually. Oh God,
Just say it. Just
I
give it to
don't
me.
want to. I don't
Just
want to
give
pick
it to
him.
me.
I don't want to. I don't want to pick the Chargers. Damn it.
What the
Well, I
Chargers
mean-
do to you?
The spread's even. They're at home, so they get automatic 3 points. So Vegas is saying this is an even kill game. 50-50.
Will you pick
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
There it is.
I want the Ravens to win. I just the defense is the difference, and God, I hate myself.
I have another Ryan, I have another bold prediction.
Let's hear it.
On this episode, which is episode 56, if the Chargers win this game against the Ravens, we will come out of first place in the AFC West. Chargers are winning this game against the Ravens. Go Chargers.
Hot take. Mr. Alex Krogan, no shock here, going for the Ravens. He's still a little burnt with the Chargers taking down his team and bringing them out, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Green Bay heading into Chicago, 4.5-point favorites.
That's
Mr.
it?
Drew. Yeah, you know what? This is a weird spread for me. I'm
Packers.
actually surprised.
What does Vegas know that I don't know?
Yeah, I mean,
Aaron Rodgers is getting a haircut.
Mr. Krogan is also taking the Packers. Grant?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I'm taking the Packers in the points.
This is another game, ATS. I am 100% attacking the spread on this one and taking the points with the Packers. I think they win by at least 10. I don't know why that's so close in that one, frankly. But yeah, Bakley.
Maybe
agrees.
the Bears defense has been good, and it's a divisional game, so maybe that tightens it up a little bit.
I mean, sure, yeah, but I don't know.
The Packers Packers missing Jair Alexander. He's done for a while.
Yeah, but the Bears offense is trash as well, missing their running back and their quarterback issues.
Yeah.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals are heading to Detroit. God, I feel so bad for the Lions. Drew, I got to take here in a second. Drew, what are you thinking? Bengals or Lions?
Can we just talk about how great Campbell is as a head coach?
Dude,
that press conference?
I want to run through a wall for that guy.
Oh, my
dude.
God.
This press conference got me going. That was good.
That is the complete opposite of what you would hope to have in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer, but that's neither here nor there. I love Detroit Lions, man. I love their tenacity. I love their never quit attitude, but I got to go with Cincy, man. They're just too talented, boys. They're just too talented, and I might have to eat some crow to my boy AJ over a 3-man weave group. I might be wrong, man. I might be wrong about the whole Penei Sewell. I still can't say his name right. Pick.
Penei.
So, Penei.
It's closer. At least you got his last name right.
I mean, it's just Jamar Chase is just it is insane, bro. What he's doing right now.
I know. I could have traded Ayuk for him in fantasy.
That hurts right now, huh?
Oh God, so bad.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go Cincinnati, boys.
All right, Mr. Krogan is taking the Bengals as well. Brant?
Bengals.
Oh, all right.
Do it, Ryan.
Hey, okay, the Lions have lost in 2 game-winning field goals that have added up over 100 yards. It's like they're right there. They're the best 0-5 team I've ever seen in my life. They're out kicking their coverage, in my opinion. They're playing better than their actual talent. But I still got to go Cincy with this one. Cincy looks good, and the Lions are just hurting right now. But I hope Dan Campbell gets some wins. He'll obviously be tenured, continuing going forward. Great coach. Hope he gets some wins under his belt. All right, Houston Texans are traveling to Indy. Colts are a 10-point favorite, which I don't know. That feels a little high for me. I'm personally going Colts. Brant?
Is Tyrod Taylor close to coming back yet or no?
No, it's Mullins. It's Mullins this week.
Mullins over Davis?
Yeah, or something like that.
Because they've had Davis in there recently. What do you think about it?
The Texans just lost their left tackle. Taylor's not coming back. I'm going Colts.
Yeah, I was going Texans until I read that about the left tackle. I'm going Colts.
Mr. Alex Krogan agrees. Full boat here for the Colts. This one feels like a no-brainer. The LA Rams are heading to the New York Football Giants in Rutherford. I'm going Rams. Is anybody not going Rams?
Rams.
Brant?
Yeah. Oh, Rams. Easy.
I'm going to talk about this.
No, Daniel Jones might not play. Saquon might not play.
Yeah.
The top 3
Saquon
receivers might not play.
Yeah, Saquon's definitely not playing.
Yeah,
Saquon's definitely not playing.
He's doubtful. That's right. He just
That's crazy that even says doubtful. Just pull the trigger. He's not playing.
Let me put him on IR already so I can clear up his spot.
All right, Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, the last place Kansas City Chiefs heading out to DC to play against the football team. Drew, what are you going here?
Why do I feel like this is such a crap game? I mean, Washington football team can easily show up. Their defense can show up this week. They know who it is. It's Patrick Mahomes and company. And the Kansas City Chiefs defense should not scare anyone at all. I mean, this is a tough game. I mean, you talk about attack the spread. I would definitely attack the spread on this one, 6.5. With that being said, I got to go Kansas City just because it's Patrick Mahomes, and I think you'll find a way to win. They lose this game and Chargers win, man. 4 games up.
Yeah, that's big time. Mr. Alex Krogan also goes with the Chiefs. Brant?
I want Washington to win, but I'm not holding my breath the next 4 weeks. So Chiefs it is.
Hey, go for the high draft pick next year, baby. Get a quarterback.
We're going to win too many games for the high draft pick, though. We've already won 2, and we'll win at least 3 more.
That's funny. All right, Vikings heading to Carolina to play against the Panthers.
This
1
is
point
a hard
spread
one.
for the Vikings. So Vegas has them at a +4 advantage here.
Oh
Me,
my God.
I'm going Vikings. I think they had a rough game last week. I think that their Cook's coming back, I believe, this upcoming week.
Yes,
And
he practiced
Jefferson.
today.
Yeah, he practiced today. So, and Jefferson's going to eat. I think that they eat him alive. This should be a close game. I actually see the Vikings kind of pulling away here. I got Vikings. Brant?
I think I'm going to go Vikings because I think Carolina was one of the
Hold on.
weakest undefeated teams.
What is
looking
going on here? Is Bakley is he getting swiped right on live on the podcast right now? What is going on?
He's a ginger. It happens.
Sorry, Brant, go ahead.
You've made it when people from Africa and other parts of the that world start messaging you. I'm just shocked it didn't start it off with "Hey, beautiful."
Daniel's answer right away. Vikings with the spread. Just bypassing it.
Sure.
Vikings.
Yeah,
Vikings,
I'm
right?
going Vikings. Yeah.
Vikings, right? I got to go Vikings here. After what I saw last week at Carolina, Sam Darnold, it was just not good. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
And Mr. Krogan also takes the Vikings.
Of course he does.
Full across the board there. All right, the red hot Arizona Cardinals are heading to Cleveland to play against the Browns. Drew, start us off here.
My God!
Who's winning this game?
After what I saw last week, the offense played so good for Cleveland. Nothing to complain. I don't think Arizona could stop that 2-headed monster between Chubb and Hunt. I want to know if Jedrick Willis is out or in. I would like to, if anyone has any information on that, because he was out last week. He got out. But other than that, man, you know what, guys? I'm going Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to pull out a win here. Going the Brownies.
Wills he stopped middle practice today.
Okay.
So that doesn't really give us much information, but not a good sign.
Yeah, I think Browns are going to control time of possession here. I think that's their best bet against Kyler Murray. I'm going to go Browns, and hopefully, Clowney plays this week. So
yeah, he should be playing. Alex obviously picks the Browns. Mr. Brandt?
I think the last undefeated team gets knocked off. I'm going the Browns.
Oh, wow.
I'm going Browns as well. I think the Cardinals, for me, in division have been playing great. There's no doubt about it. Division games, it's hard to put a good judgment on how good a team is when they're playing division games because everybody gets amped up for those. But, Drew, you hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. They're going to keep the ball away from them, and the Cardinals' defense isn't that great, and the Browns are the best rushing defense in the NFL. So as long as they play keep away, go down their score, and only give up field goals, they could win this game pretty easy, in my opinion. The coachless Las Vegas Raiders, they've renamed a coach, obviously, are heading out to Denver. Denver's a 3.5, which is actually that's closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought they give him a couple extra points. Heading out to Denver, Mr. Drew, what are you thinking?
Can we just talk about the shock? I'm kind of shocked they didn't give Gus Bradley the interim tag.
Yeah,
I'm a little shocked by that, but whatever. Denver, man. I mean, all the turmoil, all the issues going on with Vegas. I got to go Denver. I'm going Denver.
Brant?
I'm going the other way. I think the Raiders are going to come out and they're going to play hard and they're going to go at the
Good.
Broncos. And I like which team has the better quarterback? I'd say right now it's Derek Carr, and that's where I'm going to go.
Ooh.
Interesting. I'm going Broncos here. I think that I think there's a lot of turmoil going on, and he called their plays. Like, he was their offensive coordinator as well. So they're going to go back to what happens in the interim. They're going to run Josh Jacobs through the roof, and Broncos actually have a pretty good run defense. So I got Broncos winning that game at home. Cowboys heading to New England.
What did Alex pick on that one?
Oh, sorry. He picked Broncos as well. So
Jesus.
Brant's
by myself again. This is twice.
Hey, this is how you got ahead. This is how you got ahead before. You had a big lead on us. Cowboys heading New England. I'm taking the Cowboys. New England hasn't showed me much, and it almost looks like Mac is regressing a little bit based on last game. So I got Cowboys. Brant?
I think this could be a trap game for the Cowboys, but I mean, think about how well Belichick did against Tom Brady's Bucks. I know they had the help of some rain, but I got the Cowboys, but it could be closer than 3.5.
Cowboys, move on.
Cowboys, easy, move on. All right. Seattle without Russ this week. No Russ. Geno Smith will be the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. Are heading to Pittsburgh for the Steelers. Obviously, Vegas is jumping on board with that with the 5 spread. I'm taking the Steelers due to the fact that they don't have their quarterback. Brant?
I mean, who's a better quarterback, Geno Smith or Big Ben? I don't know. Toss up at this
That's
point.
a tough question, to be honest with you.
No, I'm going Steelers. I like their defense a little bit better. Sunday night, I don't trust Geno Smith to quite do as well. I mean, he did pretty solid in mop-up duty for Russ over there, but I think with that, I think they'll be hurting a little bit. But it depends on Geno's connection with DK. I don't even think the connection with Lockett doesn't matter, but I'm going Steelers.
The Steelers now have a week of practicing what Geno Smith looked like compared to what the Rams had to deal with. It was, they didn't practice for Geno Smith. Steelers get the edge there. Steelers get the edge. It's at Pittsburgh. Steelers also, hot take here, if you want to write this down, gentlemen. The Steelers offense will look 20 times better with Juju Smith out for the rest of the season. And with James Washington, Claypool, and Deontay Johnson, this offense is going to look a lot better without Juju there. So with that being said, Steelers easily with the dub.
Yeah, as they should. If Ben looks bad in this game against the worst defense in the NFL, in my opinion, I think that's a pretty big consensus. They're terrible on defense right now, especially passing. If Ben looks bad here,
especially Jamal, it's
time to bench him. It's just bring in Mason and cut your losses and hope that he doesn't die out there because Ben looks terrible.
I agree with you, Ryan. I agree. And the funny thing you say about that is I would, if it gets to a point where they just can't make the playoffs, they need to put Haskins and Mason in to see what they can get out of it and get a top 5 pick next year and get the quarterback that they want.
Yep. I fully agree. All right, Monday night game. The Bills again. How many primetime games have they had already? Jesus Christ!
This is gonna be a good game, though.
Bills. The Bills are heading to Tennessee to play against the Titans. Derrick Henry and the Titans.
God.
I'm gonna lead off with you, Drew. What are you thinking here?
No.
Bills and Titans. Oh yeah.
Oh. Can I ask you guys something? Didn't they pass a rule where they could flex any game they won on Sunday night?
I didn't think that happened until like week 13, though.
But they
I didn't think it was this early. I see. That's the thing. I don't know.
Why are we having the Seahawks and Steelers on Sunday night?
Yeah,
because it looked good in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they can flex it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they can flex this early.
I still think it's past like week 12 or something.
Is it week 12?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it used to be like the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now it's like 5 or 6, I think. So it's still down the line a bit.
The Chargers and Ravens would have been a great Sunday night game. Until after Thanksgiving. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Your redhead rifle. Listen, dude. Whose defense is better, Buffalo or Tennessee? Buffalo. Gotta go
easy.
Bills.
You got the best defense in the league, most likely.
Bills.
Let's see. Mr. Alex Krogan also goes to the Bills. Brant?
So last year, Derrick Henry's legendary stiff-armed, a defensive back of Buffalo.
Mr. Josh
Norman.
Norman.
I think it was Josh Norman. I think it was Josh Norman. in a 42-16 victory against Buffalo. That reason solely is why I'm going with the Buffalo Bills, because that is not the same Titans team, and Josh Norman's not on the Bills. So give me the Bills in this one. I don't know. You just can't go against them on Monday Night Football after what they just did to the Chiefs. I mean, it was embarrassing.
Very
they're just a better team.
This will be a good game, but the
best team in the NFL right now, Bills.
Ooh, best team in the NFL. I'll say this: they have the best.
You were just on the Rams, weren't you? Oh no, that was Ryan.
No, that was Brant.
That was Ryan.
They have the best defense and one of the best offenses in the NFL. So
and they're starting to click now. The first 2 weeks they really struggled with that offense, but they haven't even got Stephon Diggs going yet. He's
Tell me about it. He's on my damn fantasy team and he's killing me right now.
They got Dawson Knox going though.
Which is weird because that dude I thought was an afterthought.
Yeah. I'm jumping on board too. Bills heading to Tennessee. They are. I think they're probably the hottest team in the NFL right now, especially with the Cardinals kind of struggling last week. All right. Well, we've spoken. Episode 56 in the books. Final thoughts. I'm gonna jump on board here. I really, really hope that the Giants can pull out a damn win tonight. Send those damn Dodgers packing because I'm tired of these fans. They're the most annoying fans. I hate it. I'm a Padre fan, obviously. You can see in the hat. It's the lesser of the two evils. I really hope the Giants can pull out a win tonight and send the Dodgers home. Drew?
Hey, man, real quick, you guys see the peeing for the breast cancer awareness, obviously, this month. Shout out to one of my coworkers. I'm not gonna say her name, but she found out that she is diagnosed, and we want to give her some prayer, some positive thoughts for she was diagnosed with breast cancer. They caught it. Hopefully they catch it in time. I think they did. And she had surgery this past Monday, and hope recovery's going well for her. And I pray and can't wait for her to come back to work because she is a lightning rod in a place that she just lights up the room, dude. She's an awesome person, awesome human being, an amazing worker, and an amazing teacher. Shout out to her.
Prayers to her. Brant.
Man, I want to say last Saturday, Texas A&M took down Alabama, which is a win for the entire United States.
Absolutely.
The other 49 states outside
Suck
of Alabama.
Suck it, Saban.
Right? I'm watching the highlights right now, so I'm like, yeah, it takes me back to glory. It's been a good football season. There's been some surprises in college and the pros. Hockey's back now, so we're full swing. Soccer's back if you're into European football.
No.
It is a good time to be a sports fan. There's no commercials. You'll love it.
There you go. There's that.
But no, it's just a good time to be a sports fan. Everybody take it in, enjoy it. This time of year, hug your loved ones. And
absolutely.
Yeah. See you next
We had a lot of interaction on the podcast today, guys. We really appreciate all the comments, everything. Give us a like, give us a share. We'd love to get more info out there on us. And Game Winning Drive, episode 56. We are out. Blessed be. Love you guys.
Thank you for watching this episode of Game Winning Drive on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.